In this video, we're going to take a little look at colour theory. So what is colour theory? So colour theory is the science and the art of colours. It explains how humans perceive colour, how we mix, match, clash any hidden messages, emotions, and it's also what our eyes see. Colours send information to our brain, which can allow us to tell the difference between different colours, as well as convey different feelings, emotions and memories associated with those colours. So when you're designing, when you're actually making a graphic or a logo, whatever it is, you need to think about the colours you're going to use. And the first thing you need to think of is, who are you trying to attract? So younger audiences usually are attracted to bright colours like reds, blues, and older audiences prefer softer, cooler colours like greens, quite dark blues and purples. Now you will see there's quite a range of colours, especially in like children's artwork and various different types of graphic design, but there's generally certain sort of age groups associated with various colours that we need to think about. Now, as well as age groups and audiences, we also need to think about the emotions that each colour conveys. Now, both artists and scientists both agree that one's mood or emotional state can actually be affected by colours. So like me personally, I really like blues because it reminds me of like summer holidays, it reminds me of the sky, so I've always really liked blue, whereas I really don't like red. Anything that's red, I don't really fan out of any red t-shirts. I try and avoid anything that's red. So we usually associate red with romance, love, warmth, excitement, blood, life. Blue with sort of calmness, serenity, also quite a cold colour. Despite me associating it with a blue sky, it is quite a cold colour. It's also usually associated with wisdom. We think about Ravenclaw in Harry Potter. That's meant to be the sort of smartest house, the best at spells. So wisdom comes along with blue. You've also got loyalty and truth. And then yellow is usually laughter, happiness, warmth, people being, happy and things like that. Then white is usually associated with like purity, innocence, usually like good guys like Gandalf the White in Lord of the Rings. That's supposed to be like pure, innocent, clean, and neutral. Then you've got greens, which is usually sort of like natural colours or like to do with money or growth or harmony. And then black is usually like power, strength, evil, authority, and death. So along with the colours themselves, you've also got hue, saturation, lightness and temperature. So a hue is just a colour. If you used Photoshop before, you'll see they have hue presets, so you can make blue hues, red hues, green hues and things like that. Then you've got saturation, that's how strong the colour is. So if you have a really low amount of saturation, then the colour sort of goes grey. If you set saturation to like 0, and if you increase it to the maximum, it sort of makes the colours look more intense. Then you've got lightness, which is how bright the colour is. So you might have, quite a pale red or quite a dark red. That's the lightness of that colour. And then temperature is sort of how warm or cold the image feels. Now, a little fact, apparently the sun, even though we sort of, when we draw it, especially as children, we do it as yellow, we see it looks yellow, it's actually white, not yellow. And it's to do with the distance and the atmosphere and things that make it look yellow. So I've got 3 pictures here. The first one has high saturation, the second one's got a blue hue, and then the one on the right has got increased temperature. Now these are just using PowerPoint, I've not photoshopped these, I've just used the presets. But you can see how those images will feel warmer or colder, because I put the blue hue on, it feels quite a cold image, and obviously you can't see any colour except for different shades, different lightness of blue. The high saturation sort of makes it look quite alien, really, really insanely bright, and then just slightly increasing the warmer colours like the reds and the browns and things like that, and the oranges and yellows, it makes the picture look warmer rather than the opposite, which makes it look colder. So we've got 2 types of colour models that we need to know about. We've got RGB, which is an additive colour model, which means when you add them all together, it makes white. You can see here in the middle, it's white because when you add red, green and blue together, it makes white. Now this is used for computer screens. So we mix the colours together, and you might have noticed in like HTML, you have hex code like FFFFFF is white, and then if you add FF0000, that would be red. So we add red, blue and green together, or red, green and blue, to create our colours. Now for print, we use CMYK. So this is cyan, magenta, yellow and key means black, and when you add all them together, that makes black. So you see we've got this little Venn diagram there. So that is used for printing. Now the colour spectrum, there's millions of colours. Like even the human eye can't see every single colour. Same with sound as well. There's just such a wide range that not every creature can see every single colour, and that's why computers have fewer colours than cameras, because the computer chooses like a few from each part of the spectrum to create a colour palette, and this is called colour space, whereas a camera has a much larger colour space because you're taking real images using real colour that humans can see, whereas computers have a smaller range because generally we don't really need them or really see them. There's not going to be a case where you're actually going to notice a difference massively. And then we've got different colour schemes. Now, when you're creating a logo or a graphic or something like that, you shouldn't be using a million colours. You should be using, I'd say, a maximum of 3 if possible. And I don't normally include black and white. Now, if we use the same colour but a different shade, then it's a monochromatic colour scheme. If we have 3 colours next to each other on the colour wheel, so you see we've got the blue, purple and pinky colour, that's what's called analogous colours or analogue colours. We've got 3 next to each other. Then we might have a complementary colour scheme where we pick 2 colours opposite each other, like yellow and purple, blue and orange, green and red. That's a complementary colour scheme. And then if we pick 3 colours equally spaced around the colour wheel, it's called a triadic colour scheme. So when we create our graphics, we should follow some form of colour scheme. Ideally, to make it nice and easy, pick one of the ones that we've just discussed. If not, it could be a disaster and your graphic could look really, really out of place and look really strange. At the end of the day, if it doesn't look right, then people aren't going to be that attracted to it, and it may actually affect your actual brand or product itself. So we've got some examples of complementary, analogous and triadic. So we've got the pepper powered logo, which is using complementary red and green. We've got analogous, so we've got yellows and greens, and then we've got triadic where we've got a yellow colour, a blue colour and a red colour sort of spread out around that colour wheel. Now hopefully that made a lot of sense and you understand that a lot more. You are going to have to be referring to these in your R082 coursework. You may refer to it when creating your comics for R084 or your animation units, so it's a good thing to have an understanding of when you're doing anything, but obviously it does really help when you're doing your coursework as well. Thanks for watching, please like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video.